Well, Sky needs to figure something out here. Now, this is going to be an interesting conversation
Sure is.
you're going to have with your husband, the boo.
Oh.
You have to find out, when is it safe for you to go into the living room at night?
Yeah.
We ain't done yet. It's time for the P1 podcast.
Fun's not over yet.
Completely uncensored and unfiltered, except for that part.
Looking for the after party with it going.
The show's after show starts now.
Sorry?
Safe?
Huh?
What?
Yes, safe.
This
You heard
seems
me.
like a strange thing
Safe space.
to be worried about, but this popped up last night, huh?
Yeah. Last night I had just a shitty night of sleep. You know, where you just have one of those nights where you just like wake up once and then for the rest of the night, it's like every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes, you're
Yeah.
looking at the clock and then you're counting down. Okay, I get 2 more hours of sleep. I get an hour 45 of sleep. So that was what I was doing last night. And that started for me probably around midnight. Now, since we get up so super early, me and the hubby, we go to bed at different times. You know, normally I'll go to bed somewhere between like 8:30 and 9:30. And then we'll normally like wind down with a little TV in the room. I'll start falling asleep.
Cuddle sesh?
Aw.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we got
Okay.
a pillow barrier in between us. So he'll normally turn off the TV and then either go out to the living room or occasionally I'll see a little glow coming in from our like home office, which is right across the hallway from our bedroom. And then he can come into bed anytime between like probably the earliest would be 11. But then there's been times I've woken up at like 1:32 in the morning and he's still not in bed yet.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know how else to put it besides I don't know what the fuck goes on out there.
What?
Like, excuse me?
I literally don't know what's going on out there.
Why don't you just ask?
Well, so
Or surprise him one night.
Oh, there you go.
Do a pop-in.
Yeah, Popin.
I have done a pop-in before and that didn't turn out so well.
What do you mean?
Well, luckily for me, my eyes, because I had just come out of the dark bedroom and I had walked into the living room, which wasn't completely dark, had a bit more light on it. So my eyes were still adjusting, but all I know is the iPad was out, his hands were occupied, and when he saw me there, he quickly like moved around like nothing to see here, but clearly there's something to see here.
Was a noose around his neck?
I don't know. I don't know if there were any props
Wow.
or
Any grease?
I don't know if there was
anywhere, or-
grease. I don't.
Something vibrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
yeah.
if Diddy
Nothing?
was standing over
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Like,
Freak off?
Yeah. I don't know what the
Well, no,
fuck's
then
going
if
on.
Diddy was there, there'd be multiple drugged out women.
Oh, okay. So I would have definitely
You
noticed.
walk into a freak off. Look
Yeah.
out.
I don't
Yeah.
know what the fuck to expect.
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
yeah.
I mean, you never come out.
No.
Like once you're in bed, you're done for the night.
I'm done. I'm like normally a really good sleeper. You know what I mean? Like I'm a sound sleeper. I can sleep through noises, and I normally
So it's
sleep
kind of
through
his
the night.
safe space.
Yes. So it is his safe space.
To do anything?
Like every night?
Do you think?
There's no way.
Well, so here's the thing. Honestly, I don't know. This is something in our marriage that is so unspoken of.
Really?
It is spoken here on the show.
Right.
And often we speak about the perversion of my husband and him being into, all kinds of things that,
That we know of, by the way.
Yeah.
thank you.
No?
But that's, like there's more talk about it here than there is between him and I. There's rarely any talk of it.
That sounds great.
Yes. So I did have that unfortunate incident that one time.
So because of that incident, you just assume that he's always jacking off now late at night.
Well, I know he has a very high sex drive, which is
True.
nicer than me calling him a pervert all
Yeah,
the time.
that is nice.
A high sex drive. And
And if it was up to him, he'd be having
Yes.
sex a lot more.
a lot
obviously.
more. I'm the one who kind of
Right.
has the one day a
You
week.
are?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't, and it's not a secret that he watches porn. Again, we don't like talk about it.
You haven't given him the verbal okay?
Well, I have here on the show. Again,
What?
Like we've talked on the show, like what I consider cheating, what I don't consider cheating, talking about cam girls.
No, I
versus-
understand. But face to face, you've never said,
Man.
yeah, I'm cool with you.
No.
If you want to watch porn, I'm cool with it.
No.
You've never even said that.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no actual
Communication
discussion.
going on in this house, huh?
Not
Zero.
about
Zero.
Not about anything important.
Well, no, not about anything sexual. Definitely not. Like, yeah, when it comes to finances, we talk till we're fucking blue in the face, like to the point where it's annoying, and I think that's important. But sex, no, we don't talk about any of that. That's why I get like blackout drunk when we have sex all the time. Clearly, I got some
Seems
issues.
really unhealthy.
Yeah, definitely. A therapist would definitely say that, Thor. So here's the thing. Because I could not sleep last night, I started waking up at around midnight. And then next thing you know, 12:15, 12:30, the boo is still not in bed.
Okay.
He's out there. And then we also did have an unfortunate incident. It's been a while, but it was probably about 12 years ago. I don't know, 14 years ago, where I woke up in the middle of the night to hear a thud. And I went
14
in.
years ago. How do you remember this?
Because it was fucking traumatizing. I walk into our home office to find the boo passed out, and he's in an office chair. So he passed out and slid down, so his arms were locked under the arm. So he literally was passed out like this, right?
And he wasn't just sleeping?
No, he because he has a case of the passiouties where he can actually pass out. And
No,
then
there was no fluids left in his body.
That's
seriously.
what happens when you
it
jack up
happened,
every
yeah.
single day.
Yeah, and then he
get
also,
ya.
and then also part of the passiouties is uncontrollable throwing up. So guy has passed out,
What is going on
pinned
over there?
under a chair, and if he started throwing up, he literally would have choked and died because he couldn't have rolled over.
You go 0 to fucking 1 million when it comes to
Yeah.
worst case scenarios. Like we were at our Oktoberfest and her dog peed on her daughter's comforter. All right, sucks.
And on the living room rug.
And on a living room rug. Okay, it sucks. But, who knows what happened there. Sky was spinning out so much. She started, maybe the dog has a urinary tract infection.
Oh, what?
That's
Maybe.
the first go-to. I feel like that's common when your dog, who never
mean,
pees in the house,
no.
It
pees
had an
twice.
accident.
You just got excited.
Well,
Maybe-
twice in a row.
Maybe it hasn't been out and
Twice in a row.
UTI.
That's where I immediately.
I would wait. But then she was kind of spinning about it.
Oh.
Like she already had.
Oh, yeah, I was
Obviously, the dog
always-
has a UTI. Like you're wearing. Like the dog.
So
Obviously
whatever I
has a UTI.
planned tomorrow, I got to cancel because
Yeah.
we're gonna go to the vet, and then we got to blah blah
So
blah.
like
and, it's,
Extreme way to
going.
go.
and it's a Sunday, so it's emergency vet, so that's
So-
gonna cost fucking double. Thor, like Jesus.
And,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, maybe I don't know. Maybe she just got excited, or they hadn't let her out. Like it could be, wait a day. Wait a
But
day.
she goes immediately worst case possible.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So this case is he's passed out. He's locked into the chair where he's never going to be able to get out of it, and he's going to
Dead.
start vomiting and choke to death.
Yes.
Yes. And I don't think that's extreme. I know Thor does, but that's like he's passed out. And I mean, you saw him on the side of the fucking Luxor,
That was
bro.
because he got hammered.
Yeah, but it's the same switch in his brain when it like flips, like he starts throwing up uncontrollably, like passes out, sweats. It's really fucking disgusting. And he's pinned under a chair. So yes, if you're passed out with your arms under there, like how are you what are you gonna do?
It's never happened to me before.
No, it hasn't. It's
never
not very normal.
It's just, I don't know.
So here are the
It
two.
just sounds very crazy.
It does, and I didn't expect to find that, but I did, and I'm clearly traumatized by it. So here's my problem. When I hear a noise
Get out of his face.
in the middle of the night, like I did last night, I'm fucking torn. Do I go save the man's life?
Oh, God.
Save his life.
Or do I walk into the middle of a fucking freak off going on in my
Let's
living
go.
room? So, like, I want to save him.
I just would hope.
But I don't want to see the freak off because I'll never
Yeah.
be able to look at him the same.
I just hope. I mean, that would be pretty wild if every night he jerks off.
He might.
That would be. I don't know one guy that does that.
And why do it then? You have the house to yourself all day long in the daytime.
At night, though, you're feeling it,
Yeah, I feel night
Why
Why
is he up so late every night?
I don't know.
Like that's what I don't.
So-
I can't wrap my mind around that.
So you have a great point, Thor. I don't think it's every night. Like that would be crazy. The man would be dehydrated all the time.
well, it just
like,
you'd rub yourself fucking raw.
Yeah.
Or you'd have a really serious problem.
I agree. So I'm assuming it's not every night, but I don't know what night it is or nights. I don't know what time.
So it's like Russian roulette.
Dude,
There's only
seriously.
one
know.
bullet in the
Yes,
chamber,
yes.
and you're hoping you don't get shot in the face with it.
Thank you. So I'm wondering if you guys think if there's some way I can request some sort of schedule from the
a
husband.
A jerk off schedule.
So I know when it's safe to walk around my house. You know what? I want to feel safe walking out of my own bedroom into my living room. I want to be able to
If
do
he's
that.
jerking off,
Yeah.
you're not safe.
I don't feel safe. I don't want to
What's-
see that.
Like, what do you mean?
Like I
you're not in danger.
No, I guess safe's not the right word, but I don't want to see that. I don't want to know. Like I
It
don't
would be
want that.
highly disturbing if you
Thank
saw
you.
it.
If you know it's
Mentally
going on, you know it's going
But
on.
I pretend like it's not. Like, oh, I'm just sleeping real nice.
I
And
know
and if
you
it
pretend.
does happen, it's like, oh, it's quick little.
I
jerk
know
off
you
and
pretend,
I'm done.
but you know it's going on in your actual mind. You
Right.
know it's going
And
on.
it's probably worse than I think.
What could that
Wait,
be?
I don't
what
know.
Could be
Like
worse
what-
than you think.
Like what he's
What he's
watching.
watching?
Are there any I don't know, things with him?
Oh, like a toy
Yeah.
that he's using?
Yeah.
I'm
Are
sorry?
there any toys involved in this?
Worse
You're-
than you
you
think.
really have a
I don't want to walk into that.
warped view of what do you think is going on
If
there.
I see that, I can't unsee it, and I don't want to see it. So can I ask for a
But
schedule?
This is your husband.
I know.
So I
That's
don't
why
know
I
what
don't
to
want to
tell
see
ya.
it because I love him. I want to love him. I want to look at him in a nice light. But if I
but
see
you already
him,
know what's going on.
yeah. But again,
This
I
is so
don't have the
confusing.
visual. Like there's a difference between being like, oh, my husband occasionally hangs out with Diddy, to like seeing a video of your husband in the fucking freak off putting a butt plug in someone.
I'm
like,
sorry?
you know what I mean? There's,
I got your back on this. I think that there's
What?
nothing wrong with asking for a schedule or asking for how often he's doing it just to be safe, because I wouldn't want to see that, and I don't want.
You don't have a problem
Thank you.
with
Emily.
asking
I appreciate that.
her husband, what's your jerk off schedule?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
I mean,
What happens if Robert asked you what your finger blasting schedule was?
Yeah, what are you gonna
Hey,
say?
when do you usually? What's the schedule like?
Yeah, what are we looking at here?
You'd be like, what?
I might want to come home during the day.
Yeah.
I don't
I
want
gotta know.
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to
Thank you.
see it.
I don't know what the hell you're doing in there.
Yeah.
What can I get some sort of schedule?
I guess that's a good point, because
Yeah,
then
you'd be
I
so
don't,
annoyed.
But
Isn't
I
that
don't
weird?
do it that often.
Don't you think that's
but,
weird?
But
though?
you'd be so annoyed.
But I feel like it's a fair. He's kind of giving her no choice.
Yeah. He's
She's
locked
also
me out of my own
also
living room.
ridiculous.
Because
You got to add that into the cause. How ridiculous she
How
is.
this ridiculous?
Because we don't know for 100% certain that that's what he's doing.
No, he's probably just on YouTube trying to learn about Oregon.
Yeah, I mean honestly,
And
which is
stocks
which is
and-
weird, which is weirder to me.
Yeah,
than jerking off.
yeah.
But okay. So because of that, he may get highly offended and be like, "What do you mean? Like you want a jerk off schedule?" Like I'd be like, "What?" And he also isn't the most truthful when it comes to this kind of thing. Like he'd make some sort of
Yeah.
joke,
Yeah.
or he'd be like, "Oh, never."
Yeah.
or-
that would probably
yeah.
be what
So-
he
Yeah,
said.
next time I'll let you know so you could join me.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what you
that's
get.
what you get.
That's
yeah.
Gross.
Get over here, Sky.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna go the way you think it's gonna go.
So she's just screwed.
No, she could put.
Now she never knows what
she
the
could
fuck to
put some.
expect?
She could put some cans on her door. So as soon, or a bells,
bell?
and then when
Like
you
a
open
cat?
it, yeah, like a cat,
around her neck?
Yeah, and then when you open the door, he'll hear it.
knows.
And he
he
can stop.
hears jingles. That's a fucking brilliant idea.
That's actually really smart.
Sky, your jingles.
I mean, so I'm now
Your
wearing
little
a
jinxie
bell.
running around.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a bell.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.